Hello, back here. Said I wasn't going to make a video tonight, but honestly, like I say, they're kind of becoming like therapy to me a little bit. But now the reason I wasn't going to make one tonight, not a whole lot of development on anything has happened, and honestly, I've got a migraine. It really fucking hurts. So I'm gonna try to keep this one shorter, and I decided I'll just go ahead and make one again because it's kind of therapeutic and. I was just sitting out here anyways a little bit before I go in and play a little bit of video games or something before I go to bed. Because I seen the moon and it's so beautiful tonight. It's almost completely like U-shaped. Um, and it's like about halfway through the waning cycle till it gets to the new moon. So I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and make one. Of course, time this video comes out, it probably won't be a lot of moon. There won't be a lot of moon left. Like I say, if you haven't seen any of the others, I just kind of have it where I make one or two a night. One night I made like three, and I just have them set to come out at different parts of the day, or different parts every day. I'd like to. I don't know. I don't really have a goal, like an end goal or anything like that everybody talks about with this. Um, I'd like I say, really like to just have a few people that kind of follow and you know just kind of into it. Maybe they're going through some of the same shit to getting stuff set up. I've talked about in some of the other videos. Um, just kind of have a bit of a conversation uh, about like a few. I mean, like five or something would be cool. But aside from that, though, as far as making the videos go, we'll see. I mean, where I'm pushing them out, where I have them scheduled every day. I could miss a few days and stuff like that. Be fine if something happens, but or if I'm just really not feeling it. But I like to try to make. I don't even want to set a number. I have a number in my head, but really, I'm going to try to start streaming a little bit as well. As soon as I get finished up with Zenless, I was hoping to get it, be honest with you, caught up with everything before this new patch comes out. And I've been going and doing some like the little character stories, and I'm probably not even a third of the way through those. So I'll probably go through and finish those up and then run through this next patch. Um, then I'll be satisfied where I can set it down. I kept hoping that they would Zenless Zone Zero. I don't know if I said that or maybe I just said Zenless, what I call it, but I'm hoping that they'll run some of the characters and stuff that I was wanting because I've got a shitload of the in-game currency saved up. I've probably got enough to pity out on two at least. Um, because I know that they've already reran Jane Doe. I really want to get her, and I really wanted to justify why I could get Caesar. It's probably been a couple months now or more, actually, but I really wanted to justify. I think she's the last one before the 2.0 dropped, or the rerun. But like I said, I really wanted to justify getting her, but with my other characters that I've got, I just couldn't justify getting her to be like the place or somewhere. So maybe they reran Bernice again. As far as the 2.0 characters go, there's not really any that I necessarily really enjoyed playing as, other than Alice. I liked her playstyle. I like where things are kind of fast, like that a little bit. she kind of controls like Miyabi, which is the main character that I have for my team that I do run. But yeah, I'd like to get a Jane for sure, and we'll see what they rerun on some of the other ones. Maybe Bernice, because I really wanted to kind of collect all the Sons of Caledon, but like I say, I'm not going to spend any real world money on the game, and um, like I say, I just couldn't justify getting some of the other ones. But but yeah, that being said, I've talked about how I'm going to start delving into Cyberpunk, which I do believe that's going to be the game that I'm going to start playing afterwards. I'm going to try to stream it. Um, I told the story on another video, but basically to make it short, it's like I love Cyberpunk themed stuff. I uh, I really liked it. Like even before they announced the game, I was aware of the tabletop. Never played it. I've only ever got to play D&D a few times, and it's always just like it's just stupid. Like it doesn't go anywhere. Nothing ever happens. It's always like, oh fuck, afterwards, you know. And I haven't even played it in probably 7, 8 years or something like that. Um, Back just a few years ago, I bought the player's handbook just so I could look at it and make characters and hopefully get to play. Me and my wife did, you know. We're gonna have to figure something out. Which, if anybody sees this, might say, "Well, play Baldur's Gate." I tried playing it. Wife didn't like the combat or the story necessarily, and I didn't like the story. I just, it's probably one of those games. I guess maybe if you play again like D&D, you were getting people together and is going to play together and just enjoy it for what it is. Like that'd be great. Like kind of like these buddy slop games and stuff. But I don't have any online friends to play with or do anything with. Game wise, but it'd probably be a better experience if that, you know. It is a great game to kind of watch clips of and people stream and stuff like that, but to actually play it, I do like playing games with that style of combat on occasion. But I was just kind of like, it's kind of similar to like Disgaea or Final Fantasy Tactics and stuff, or even kind of like Valkyria Chronicles, which I played. Uh, I like that and stuff, you know. But uh, kind of tactical RPG, I guess. But also, aside from all that, like I say, really like the whole cyberpunk stuff, uh, and just like Neuromancer, the novel, um, Billy Idol's cyberpunk album. And like I said, I just liked reading and looking up stuff about cyberpunk. I played Shadowrun on Genesis and stuff, and uh, I like that too. I like how it's kind of a mix of fantasy with cyberpunk in a way. Of course, Ghost in the Shell, stuff like that. Which cyberpunk was kind of like before the game came out, everything kind of got like cyberpunk is what it is now. It's kind of very defined and narrow. And this happens with everything. And I'm not saying it's like a bad thing. Excuse me, because again, I've mentioned some of the other videos. I really like black metal, and like whenever the second wave, the Norwegian stuff came about, they kind of defined what it would become instead of it kind of being like eclectic, like some of the predecessor bands. And even though I like some of them and stuff like that, like the predecessor, first wave, whatever you want to call it, uh, I really like the direction that it took with black metal and stuff like that. Also, you know, some animes come out and they define a genre, then you get a bunch of copycats and stuff like that. But if you really like that anime, it's nice to have a bunch of fucking copycats and stuff like that, so you get more of it. And I really do like Cyberpunk 2077, like world and how they done it and stuff. So, I mean, no complaints on that. But that being said, Cyberpunk kind of before was a little bit more of a loose term that could kind of get applied to a little bit more eclectic things, um, which is cool. Uh, I'm glad that we had that, but I'm glad also that we've, in the past 5 years, we've got more cyberpunk themed, you know, just music and artwork. And I mean, I guess there's probably like a lot of fan stuff, games and, you know, mods and whatnot out there too. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys, really sleepy, but yeah, so I try to do that, but what I'm getting at those also, my video game backlog is ridiculous. Um, I've wanted to get into this for probably, again, about 8, 9 years. Fucking Digimon. I remember watching the anime a little bit as a kid. Actually, the first video game, and I think I mentioned this in my video game history video. I can't remember. First video game ever rented from Blockbuster was a Digimon game on PS1. And I can't even remember what it is. If I saw some gameplay from it, I would be able to identify it because I have these mental images in my head. I only kept it for like a week. I don't know why. Like I say, I guess parents just took it back, whatever. But I remember I did get to pick it out. And also, I remember some of the Digimon stuff. I know that they ran, um, was it through Burger King maybe? Some Digimon shit back in the day, like in the kids' meal stuff. I can't remember. But, anyways, I'm trying to wrap my head around kind of what Digimon is and kind of learn about it a little bit, because obviously I don't remember much as a kid, and even then it's like so long ago. Like, if you asked me what I done this day last week, I'd be fucking trying my hardest to figure it out. Like, honestly, memory retention is one of my worst fucking things. I have to have something really ingrained in me and talk about it over and over. Also, just kind of with all the stress and everything got going on in life, I can't hardly remember anything. Like, to even make a point about something, if me and my wife's having like a discussion about some real world shit or something. Uh, but yeah, so trying to wrap my head around a little bit of the Digimon stuff, because I've got the that Cyber Sleuth double pack on the Switch still sealed. I got it fucking Christmas last year. It's on my Amazon wish list. Wanted that forever, and I need to break down and play it, because over this past year so far, well, I played the newest Dragon Quest because I got it for Christmas as well. Yeah, I got it for Christmas. Christmas was good to me last year. I got the newest Dragon Quest, and I got the double pack of Digimon, and also Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, uh, which I love those games as well and shit. So I did go through Dragon Quest, and then after that, I played Skyrim for the first fucking time. I know it's sad after all these fucking years. I'm always late to the game on games. That's my wife. I'm watching her now kind of go through Witcher 3 for the first fucking time. She started it the other night, um, which is kind of ironic because I wanted to start Cyberpunk, and I talked about it in a video. Then it's like the next day or whatever. Of course, it got uploaded later, but she wanted to start The Witcher, so I was like, "Fuck it, let's do it." So, but yeah, so and that game's what 10 years old. I remember getting like cups from Hardee's I didn't know what the fuck it is. I'm so behind. I'm gonna make another video at some point whenever I've got uh, more time to kind of sit down and not stress about what's going on and talk about retro games. Because I'm so out of the loop with everything and have been for many years. The lack of social media, lack of evolving with the times, just playing old shit. Uh, I always make the joke, nothing like playing old games on a new system. I mean, I get a new fucking system. Got the PS5, and the first thing I got was that Ninja Turtle collection with the fucking uh, Turtles in Time on it, and was playing through that a bunch. Like, so, anyways, I'm bad at video games, and I want to start the Digimon, and then uh, I don't know if I'll go through one then the other, or if I'll go through one then try to do Shin Megami Tensei. But turn-based RPGs is my shit. Is typically what I really like, for the most part. Especially if they're 16-bit and you don't know where the fuck you're going, and you have to get on GameFAQs and look up a guide and read through that shit. I like torture myself, I guess, but yeah. So yeah, trying to get a little bit versed in the whole Digimon world, so I can have a little bit of a better understanding for whenever I go in and play that as well. Thought about trying to stream that as well. I know with the Switch you can't stream it kind of directly off your console. I'm trying to look into that a little bit. Of course, I'm not spending any money on anything that isn't necessary now. Um, I just don't have the funds for it yet. Maybe next month. If shit goes down, we'll see. Uh, so, but I'll need to get like a capture card and hook it up to the PC, I guess, and then run it off that. I skimmed through a video last night at like 3 in the fucking morning before I went to sleep, and I forgot most of it. But this ain't smoking too good. But aside from that, here it is, 2 in the fucking morning. Have to get up at 7, be in town by 8. New developments. Hopefully, I'm not staying waiting around for fucking ever, and it's gonna be a big pain in the ass. We'll see. I've got a lot of errands to run, people to talk to. There was a lot of things closed today because of the holiday. So tomorrow I've got to go and do my best presentation and make some moves, make some calls, get shit together. I got to go do a bunch of shoveling because I don't have my tractor, ain't got a bucket on it or anything. First of all, I ain't got no way to haul that motherfucker into town. I've got a truck with a transmission that likes to overheat, so I ain't even got a trailer to haul it on. I mean, I've got a little 4x8. I don't like calling it a trailer, more like a wagon. Uh, my truck will pull some shit, uh, but underneath heavy loads, and also it ain't got no fucking brakes. And where I live, the roads are like, you know what I'm saying? Uh, Log trucks around here, they go down a hill just Jake breaking the entire time. Like, they're, you know what I'm saying? You've got to have a better setup. I've got to get a better setup. My wife's truck could as well, but it'll need a hitch installed on it. It's got pretty good brakes on it, but also it needs a fucking torque converter. So, and I ain't got time to fuck with that or the funds. So yeah, anyways, don't have anything with a bucket on to be able to spread gravel with. So other than a wheelbarrow and a shovel. So it can be done. And also what I'm hauling all this in, because it's got heat and air conditioner working in it now, is a fucking Kia Soul. I've hauled more shit in little cars than I ever had fucking truck. Before this, I had a Mazda 3. I've hauled everything in it, guys. I mean, seriously. I mean, I've had fucking plywood sticking out the back. You know, like, I mean, you do what you gotta do. You scoot your seat all the way front so your knees are touching the dash and you barely. You gotta do what you gotta do. I've hauled a pole saw, and the pole saw was as long as it was. Pole saw was literally scratching the windshield up in the dash. I mean, if we got in a wreck, I mean, ain't no telling what it would chop off. I'm just saying, you gotta do what you gotta do though. I made a whole video about that. Do what you gotta do. You ain't gotta have all the fancy shit. Just a $5 shovel from a junk store. I bought the wheelbarrow brand new because I got tired of looking for one. Uh, so I overpaid for it like a motherfucker. Hell, if you're dedicated enough, and I've done this, hauling gravel up from the creek, shovel, and 5 gallon bucket with a tarp in the back of the little side by side. Shovel that bucket full, walk it up out of the creek bed onto the road, pour your gravel in, get your few loads of that, come out here and shovel it off. That's how I fix my driveway. Gotta do what you gotta do, guys. That's all there is to it, man. So, anyways, that's what I like about these conversations that I have with myself on these videos. Kind of talk about anything and everything. I can go from the moon to Cyberpunk to Digimon to trucks to shoveling gravel. You know, we got a lot going on. I mean, it's hopefully the guy's going to get over there and get everything taken care of, and then I can move on to the finishing steps of getting everything set up. I've said it in about every video that I do these little updates on. Whenever I've got a few people watching, uh, I'm gonna talk about the plans and stuff, or talk about like what I've done. Like I say, I'm not trying to bogart the information here or anything like that. And I'm not saying I have the right information. It's decent for my area and for my age and my. I shouldn't be able to accomplish this, but it's a lot of hard work and some mental work, mental. Sorry if my slang's real bad. But people can do it even if you're young, even if you ain't got no money. You have to get money, but there's ways to get it. You sometimes got to bust your ass a little bit. But I want to talk about, like I say, these things and try to have a discussion with people on this because, like I say, I feel like it's important for younger people to kind of group together and sorry about the dog, but kind of group together and let's figure this shit out together. Workplace is dead. You got to figure shit out on your own. Boomers clearly are having a hard time leaving the fucking workplace. Gen Xers they're gonna be there a long fucking time. I feel like the millennials is like a transitional period. Mostly talking to the Gen Zers here though, like I am. Of course, I'm a elder Gen Zer. I guess I think I made the cutoff by a year or two, um, but yeah, I mean, workplace is dead. It's dying. Um, that's a good thing. Now's the time to be getting this shit figured out and working on it. Um, for sorry if that's gross. I probably should stop doing that in these videos. It's just a habit. But yeah, just seize the opportunity, And if the opportunity ain't there, Make an opportunity. You gotta do what you gotta do. I live by those fucking words. That's my ninja way. Me and my wife's been going through Naruto. Uh, just about got it fucking wrapped up. Yeah, dogs get a little wild here at night. The one of the neighbors around, and I say neighbors loosely because they're kind of far away, but you can hear them over these hollers and stuff. They've got a new dog that barks all night, which then triggers my dogs to bark all night. And whenever I'm out here, usually they're a little bit settled down because they're probably freaking out, wondering what the hell I'm doing talking to myself. Um, but whenever I'm inside, man, they're crazy. Which don't really bother me, too much. Um, they're not like right up close to the house or anything. The only thing is though that sucks is they're usually pretty good about letting me know whenever people's around and shit. Um, I always talk. We used to have like a 3-stage alarm system um, out here. First, the dogs would get going, then the donkey would get going, then the guineas would get going. Um, the donkey, especially around this time of year, he starts kind of venturing on to the field a little bit, find something better to eat because not everything's just growing up here as much. Um, it's all starting to, you know, kind of die off a little bit. Not. Shit. Sorry, guys, but not necessarily yet. I probably don't have another cigarette, do I? And we had 3 guineas. Nope, I'm out. But we only got 1 left. We want to get some more. I just want a small amount of them, though. I think like 2 to 3 is pretty good. Uh, Problem is, though, is they fuck with the chickens bad. Like, they're always mean to them and stuff. You know how chickens are. They're kind of assholes to one another anyways. So it's uh, once I get all this shit wrapped up next spring, I'm definitely gonna try to. I've been needing to get my donkey a girlfriend forever, uh, so I'd like to get one another donkey at some point for him, and also I'd like to get again another guinea or two, and I want a goose. I think they're cool. I want to hear them honking. Uh, wasn't really wanting to get. We've got a pond back here a little bit. Wasn't necessarily going to fuck with any ducks or anything just because I don't want them fucking up my frogs because the frogs will come down at night in the summer from the pond and eat a bunch of like the little gnats and flies and stuff like that. So they help keep that under control. And so also guineas are really good about getting ticks if you got some of them around. So, but anyways, I know ducks sometimes will fuck on the frogs, but I've got a little 2.5-year-old, roughly, daughter and stuff like that. Loves ducks, so probably going to have to get some of them. We'll see how they do. Hopefully, they won't fuck up the frogs a lot. Maybe I can make them like a little. If I've just got say a couple of them or something, maybe I can try to get like a little setup closer down here, posted up. That way, they won't mess with a lot of the frogs that's up there. They're not just like fucking on them all day. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. Uh, Another good thing, if you're living out in the country, especially, or someplace that has lightning bugs or fireflies, whatever people want to call them, we got rid of the like outside light that would like shine real bright that the electric company offers. Uh, Mostly just because it's like $15 a month for fucking something don't even really want. Um, but that like light that it emits off, which is kind of like I guess bluish now. Uh, that does something like neurological or something like the fireflies where it just like fucks them up. It like kills them off and stuff. So if you've got some of that shit going on, but you really kind of like the fireflies and stuff, I feel even weird calling it that because I always call them lightning bugs, but most people I don't think call them that, so it's hard to even. But whatever. Uh, so lightning bugs. I'll just continue to call them that. Uh, I've noticed we had a little bit of an uptick in them this last summer, where we didn't have them as many before. I guess because they were just kind of staying away from that light. Um, Now the only good thing about that light, though, I mean, there's pros and cons to literally every aspect of life. Uh, but there'd be that light pole down there and have that light, then there'd be a shitload of bugs swarming it. Then you have like just a bunch of frogs down there like posted up, like getting these dudes. So it kind of lured a lot of the bugs to there, which then lured the frogs so then they could get them. But then again, maybe a lot of the bugs wouldn't even necessarily get around it as much. But I love lightning bugs. Personally, I think they're really cool. So with having the light off, it's definitely. I mean, other than just saving money, you know, um, I really care about lightning bugs, and I want them to be here for a long time, and I want more to come. Because my daughter's already kind of noticed them last year. Whenever she gets a little bit older, a little bit more coherent and stuff. Because I have memories about the lightning bugs and stuff like that. Um, as a kid, kind of like looking for them and, putting them in a jar. Of course, I accidentally killed a few like that, so I eventually like let them out and stuff. I learned to do that. But I think stuff like that's really important. So try to conserve that, if can. Uh, Also, next year I've decided that what I'm going to do. I've got two fields. One, and unless anything changes, one is basically useless right now, other than just like, hey, let's go for a little ride and drive in it because it's kind of fun and something to do, get out of the house. Uh, Other than like a little driving path just around the perimeter of it, I believe I'm just going to let it grow up and I'm not going to bush hog it at all until fall time and everything's dying off. Because I got to really noticing, because what it is it's like flat and it's easy to bush hog. Well, the field in behind the house, uh, it's like rocky as fuck, right? So I can only truly bush hog like a couple sections, like they're the majority of it, but there's a lot of fucking rocks. There's even like a rock ledge that's like if you drove off that thing, you'd be fucked up. But uh, so I had this. I imagine myself as like Guts out there uh, from Berserk, training myself up because the summer before last, I went and done the entire. I mean, this is like several acres too. The entire perimeter of it around the fence, and also these rock ledges. There's like a little bit of a woods there. It's not much. Kind of going in there. That's mostly briars. Like oh my god, and around the pond, all this shit. Before I continue, because I don't think anybody's probably going to be watching this anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and roll another cigarette and now finish this story up. So yeah, I felt like I was getting pretty fucking stout doing that. I did that like multiple times, twice. And got the rest of them. We get really bad. I can't remember. Scared shit out of me. Uh, The there's a bunch of dogs around, different hollers and everything. But uh, thorn trees. I don't know the exact term for them. It slipped my mind. But I was whacking one of them, and it wasn't too big around, maybe something about like that. With this, and then the blade just snapped in half. And it's not like one of them like size like that. It's literally just a giant stick with like a little bit of a hooked blade on the end, and the blade's probably about like that, but then it's got like a little hook. Uh, Maybe a brush cutter is what you call them. I don't even know. It almost looks like some homemade deal. Well, the blade snapped literally in half on me, and I hate welding and I suck at it, but I can get the job done. Uh, so I really need to do that. But once everything dies off, and I can go through and kind of cut a lot of that shit up, hoping maybe able to get it with the weed eater a little bit better. That'll save me some time and effort. But that being said, I mean, machete is fine and all. I'm a little bit taller though, so like to really get down, I just have to bend over and it just kind of kills me, you know. Whereas that uh, brush axe, maybe is what you'd call it, you could literally just like take it up like this and swing it like, and it was long enough too. And you get that hook and everything kind of came off like a pretty good slice. As long as you kept it sharp. And I mean, you know, you hit it on rocks and shit all the time. But I do have a scythe as well. Bought them the same day. The scythe though, it works better for like grass, but not necessarily for stick weeds and thorns and thorn bushes and stuff like that. Just because I feel like it would be a way better to use this for a long amount of time, but I feel like you can't get as much power in it, and you kind of have to watch where your feet's at a little bit more. Uh, and then because of that, you're having to kind of hump over a little bit, like, you know, uh, again, maybe it's a thing if you were shorter and stuff like that, then you kind of set it out here and work your arms and stuff more instead of like your back to have to. It's kind of like I don't know. It's just not comfortable. I'm one of these days I'm eventually gonna make my own short video. My ass fuck. But I'm gonna take. It's gonna sound stupid. It's probably gonna be an ankle killer. I'm gonna test it out before I advise it. But I'm gonna take an old lawnmower blade, cut it in half. Just use one side of it. That way it's sticking out. I'm gonna have a long ass handle on it. So basically, gonna be like this, and then you're gonna have a little lawnmower blade sticking out here. Basically, like L with a little bit, you know. Then, and I'm gonna take that, but I'm gonna use like a. I've got a cheap handle that's like very shitty. It's a shovel that just broke. It's like one of those ones from Walmart, and I feel like it's light enough that you could do it like one-handed pretty easily. I'm going to use that, and I'm going to sharpen the blade. I've got to cut the other side off and kind of grind it down where I can put an edge on it. I'm hoping to make it to where I can just kind of go like that, like if I'm standing up and just kind of let it swing and let it cut a lot of that shit out for me. 'Cause that's one thing about the big ass brush axe and stuff. Like I say, he's literally behind the shoulder and take a big swing and stuff like that. So it worked both of you out. Even though it's more on your right side if you're right-handed doing it, swap over here, you're still getting that tension. But it's one thing that is nice about a machete, um, or something like what I'm going to try to make. You can do it one-handed for a while, and to give that a break, then that way you don't have to kind of stop and rest up. You can just keep going. But like I say, you're gonna let everything die off before really fucking with that, and also another thing too that I've got going on is the work that I'm having to do to get everything set up for this business. Every time I go and like really fuck with it, I get sore as fuck. So, uh, I'm not trying to do too much strenuous activity. I mean, yeah, putting the wood up and stuff was a little bit, but it was the weekend. Nothing was going to go down really, anyways. Because I'm kind of at a standstill till this other guy gets his part finished up, and then I can start balling hard on it. Um, so I'm trying to take it a little bit easy with my body, because it really sucks if you're just worn the fuck out and tired as hell, and all your body hurts and your muscles are so sore, but then you're having to really exert. Like say, my wrist is still not healed up. I mean, I've been killing it constantly, and it will not heal up. I don't know if it's been fractured or something. Like I'm not good with these terms, so I don't know. But it's like every time I use it to do anything, like if I'm using a drill or a hammer or whatever, it just fucking hurts. You know, me and my wife, we do everything together. She's amazing, and you know, she helps a lot do this too. She's really good, like I say, about measuring shit out and marking where it all needs to be cut. Then I cut it and do what I got to do and stuff like that. But she's out there like pushing her body, not just with that and stuff too. And she's had this like in her shoulder blade. Um, it will not heal up. It'll get better, then we work, and then it gets sore again. Then you think it's gone. Same with my wrist, and then it just hurts even more. Um, just for fear of like complications with certain things. Um, we're going to try to get her to a doctor to have it checked out. So we just want to make for sure, kind of give them the placement and everything too, because it's not necessarily like a muscle that's in there that's sore. It's like a different type of pain. So we're going to try to get her into the doctor sometime to check that out, just to make for sure. Um, but yeah, so a lot of fucking rambling. Here we are, 42 minutes later. Holy fuck. Gotta be up 7 in the fucking morning. Let's see what we got. 2:37. Fuck. I'm probably gonna be waiting around a lot though. Hopefully I can take a fucking nap in the car while I'm waiting on this dude. Hopefully he shows the fuck up and just get it over with. Come back home, give me a nap in. But we'll see. Wish me luck. Remember guys, just go out and look at the moon every now and again. Just go out and do that. If you can. Stars. Fuck, I love it. Y'all take it easy.